Broadcasting from the Vegas Video Network studios, just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's Awkward Silence 2.1. And now, our favorite host in this particular time spot, it's Brandon Gooch Hahn.
Oh, please, I'm hungover. Please, God, just calm down. Hey, what's going on? It's Brandon Gooch Hahn, and welcome to Awkward Silence 2.1, the second show ever. Oh, we made it through the first one. There were some growing pains, but we're trying to correct them. You want to email us? We got an email set up, awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. That's awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. We also have a phone number set up, 866-966-4599, 866-966-4599, and let's not forget a major part of the show, live chat, vegasvideonetwork.com/live. And if you need to ask us a couple of questions during the show, feel free. We'll answer them for you because we're friendly. And let's not forget it. Let's just say you missed a show. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. We're on vegasvideonetwork.com. You can see reruns on that, iTunes, Roku, and that's pretty much it. So, without any further ado, I think it's time for the seamless segue to camera number 2. Ooh, Jesus Christ. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm amazing. Let's do the news. So earlier this week, Steve Jobs stepped down as CEO from Apple Empire. I couldn't believe it. According to Steve Jobs, he says, don't worry, Apple's perfectly fine because he has personally picked his successor. Yeah. And when asked for comment, the successor actually just breathed really hard. Kind of weird. And for you fellas out there, I have 3 words for you. Rihanna, sex, tape. I know, right? She made it. Now, here's the thing. According to Hustler, they say there's a tape. They just don't know what to do with it yet. I say putting on the internet, you bunch of idiots. And then, but according to Rihanna's people, she says there's no sex tape. And you know what? I got to give kudos to Rihanna. Because why would you want to do that to your career? I mean, outside of getting a book deal, reality show where all your family members can make a lot of money, millions of dollars to where you can get a $29 million wedding, why would you want to do that to yourself? Seriously. You know, I could have went the extra route as a comic. I could have thrown in the part where, hey, during the sex tape, what if somebody peed on her? She could have used her umbrella, Ella. Hey, but I'm better than that. I am better than that. Such a bad joke. And in other news, I guess Billy Ray Cyrus is fit to be a granddaddy. No, not thanks to his millionaire daughter. It's thanks to his loser son, Trace Cyrus. He actually managed to get Disney actress Brenda Starr pregnant. Now, if you look at the two, look at that. I mean, she is scorching hot, and he's got a tattoo on his face. Guys with tattoos on their faces shouldn't get the girl. They should get a job at Hot Topic. That's it. And who could forget about the earthquake that happened in Virginia? And there was a New York rabbi that decided to talk about it. In fact, he blames it on, guess who? The gays, of course. Obviously, that's the logical choice. According to Rabbi Yehinda, it's like one of those weird names, whatever. Anyway, he goes on a YouTube channel and he starts saying that the gays are the reason why the earthquake happened because God is upset and he wanted to cause some commotion, some chaos. And the thing is, Rabbi Yehinda, I don't understand why he would attack Virginia of all places. I mean, I could understand if God wanted to smite down the Fox Studios, you know, for Glee. And then, of course, Paramount Pictures. See, there you go, Tom Cruise, he's gay. But the thing is Virginia, I mean, first Asian gunmen, now this. What gives, God? And, of course, we got to do some Vegas news. The rock band KISS is making their way to Las Vegas with a coffee house. And we decided to send our very own correspondent, Courtney Leone, down to Myrtle Beach, California, at the original KISS Coffeehouse. Courtney, what's going on down there?
Hi, Peggy. Well, you know what they say, Gooch. God gave rock and roll to you, and KISS gave you God. And now they're giving you rockachinos. This coffee is so good, it's going to make you want to lick it up.
I have a question. Why are you dressed like a member of the Insane Clown Posse?
Oh, yeah. That's who this is. This is really embarrassing. See, I was trying to come undercover, and fit in with the KISS tards, but apparently I've just exiled myself. They won't let me in. So.
Oh, there. The KISS Army is very unforgiving. You've just been demoted. But the thing is, though, is we asked you to do some research. When we hired you, you were supposed to do some research.
Whoa. Hired me? You guys didn't even pay me gas money to get down here. You know how much you paid me? Yeah, that's how much research I did.
Now, what are you doing down there?
I'm trying to get a job. I mean, I need to make some money, don't I? But apparently I didn't have to drive down here. I could have just filled out my application online, which I just had to do from my car, since they won't let me in. And I emailed you a copy if you want to take a look at it.
Scott, can we pull that up real quick? That was a good snap. It says right here, according to your resume, the questions they ask, it says that you, out of all the KISS members, you want to be the star child. Why is that?
Stars are feminine? I don't know.
I guess Paul Stanley would agree to that, right? What's going on, General of the KISS Army, Scott? Hey, I understand. It also says right here that, I like how you completely avoided the question. I rock, and your answer is, why wouldn't I rock?
I think that pretty much speaks for itself, Gooch.
And for hours a week, you didn't give an answer, you just put question mark.
Well, it's a good question. How am I supposed to work when I'm rock and rolling all night and partying every day? You tell me when I can fit in time to make a cup of joe.
Well, you really thought this through, Courtney. You really put in the effort there.
Well, you know, it's like I always say, I'm a cowboy, I got a steel horse, I ride it sometimes.
That's Bon Jovi, and I don't think that's how the song goes.
Well, all I'm trying to say is every rose has its thorn.
That's Poison. Courtney Leone, everyone.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Oh, Courtney. All right, now let's pass the mic. All right, Mike, that's the portion of the show where you, the viewer, get to ask me a question through email at awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. That's awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. Scott, we got a question?
We do. Hi. We got a couple questions, actually. First one comes from John. John says, you suck at this.
Oh, well, thanks for the constructive criticism there, John. Well, I guess all I could say is thanks for watching, and and don't forget to kill yourself.
Okay, second question, and you're probably going to think we're going to have the video ready for this, but we don't. But we're going to talk about it anyways. Amy says, why was your leg shaking so much during the first show?
Oh. Okay, can we go to this camera real quick? Let me show everybody exactly what was going on. During the very first show, we went and watched some game footage of this, and I could not stop doing it. People were hitting me up on Facebook all day long asking me if I had Parkinson's or something. It was the saddest thing in the world. Once again, awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. That's the email if you want to be a part of Pass the Mic. And don't forget, we still have the live chat going at vegasvideonetwork.com/live. So here's a word from our sponsors or a station ID. We'll be back with our headliner.
This is David Ivey from Pub Crawl. It's funny because it's David from. You should just leave it on. Hi, I'm David Ivey from Pub Crawl, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. And scene.
Something tells me David's a member of the KISS Army as well. I'm just going to throw it out there. So now at our headliner is actually a member of the legendary Outlaws of Comedy. He's actually featured down at the, the Icons of Comedy down at the Hilton all week long. Extremely funny. Let's give it up for Jimmy Shubert. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Doing good.
What's up? What's up, buddy? What's happening?
Not much, man. So what's going on? You've been to Vegas numerous times, right?
I used to. It's August. It's 115 degrees out. I'm a ginge. I need like an SPF Chernobyl 180. The only way I stay to getting a tan is if I get a melanoma. And it all grows together. People go, hey, you look great. Yeah, thanks. I got 6 weeks to live. It's just, you know, you coming to Vegas in August, you better pack your sponge underpants. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly, my God. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I always wanted to go to Afghanistan, but not to entertain the troops, just to get the hell out of this sun. My God, it's super hot out here.
I have been to Afghanistan in August, believe it or not. A couple years ago, we went with Drew Carey to entertain the military over there. One of my favorite things I've ever done. But we did some shows over there. Flew into Bagram Air Force Base on the C-130, which is the workhorse of the U.S. military. But coming in to Bagram, we did this combat landing where the plane does all these evasive maneuvers. And I'm kind of standing there. It kind of took me by surprise. You know, I'm going, Jesus, don't get me wrong, still better than Southwest. But we got down there and we did some shows on some forward operating bases, which was one of my favorite things I've done. So,
you know, and I hear that a lot from comics. They say that's one of the most gratifying things to do because those soldiers, they give it up for the comics because they're just so thankful to have you down there, and you're thankful to be a part of it.
Yeah, they were. One of the most rewarding things you'll ever do, and those guys do make tremendous sacrifices. I mean, I don't care how anybody feels about the war politically or whatever, but it's, those guys are there, so to come on, step off a plane in a war zone or a Chinook helicopter, 8 clicks from Pakistan.
Right.
And he goes, what are you doing here? I said, we're the comedians. We're here to tell some jokes. He goes, yeah, but what are you doing here? Like we suck. He goes, you should have been here yesterday about this time. They were showing us. I said, that must suck. He goes, not really. They're not very good shots. Come on. And you shuttle in, you do your, you do the comedy. So, but you're right. Those guys are really appreciative, and it's a really, interesting travel experience to say the least.
Have you? One thing I have heard about over there is they have these humongous spiders. Like they call them camel spiders, and they're humongous.
I think that's not Afghanistan. That's the Middle East.
Right.
What they have in Afghanistan are these humongous terrorists that are, and you would think. See, here's the thing. You would think we would get along better with the terrorists because they like to blow themselves up. We like to blow them up. You would figure it's a match made in heaven. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why we don't get along much better.
I don't understand that. Now,
and then the other thing is that you can convince somebody you're going to go get 72 virgins. I don't care who you are. That's a lot of work. Ow! What is it? Get it off me! Ew! You're on my hair. It hurts. Who wants 72 virgins? Give me 3 hookers and an 8-ball, then we got something.
All I'm trying to say is it's a lot easier to teach 72 chicks that have been with a couple of guys how to properly give a good BJ. It's hard to teach 72 virgins how not to give a toothy BJ. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing.
Yeah, you know what?
What goes into that?
You know what I mean?
Time.
You peel a banana, you see teeth marks, sorry, cupcake, out of line. I don't. Well, you got to work this stuff out. I'm not teaching you how to, let's work on some skills before you get here. I don't want you damaging the Irish hammer.
Yeah, you just can't jump right into this thing. Come on now.
That's
Practice
right.
makes perfect.
That's
honey
right.
bunch.
You want somebody who's a little more comfortable with their sexuality, 3 holes, no waiting, let's go. Yeah. Sorry.
Now, one thing with Jimmy Shubert is, like I brought up earlier, he's a member of the Outlaws of Comedy, which, features Sam Kinison and a bunch of other legendary comics. And you were telling a story not that long ago where you were at the Dunes, the last time you were at the Dunes, and you were just partying it up. And that's the thing, like back in those days, you used to cut loose.
Oh, let me tell you, bro, I got about 6 brain cells left. And they're in a boat going, who's got the map? Who's got the map? We had fun. I was young enough that I recovered from it, but I'm lucky to be alive. I mean, it was madness. I remember it was this, $5,000 a night and just room service liquor. We would go to the Olympic Gardens and, we'd be there for almost like we go after a show, we go party, we go to the Olympic Gardens, we'd be there all day. And I remember, it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, man. It was exactly what it was supposed to be at that time, and lots of noses to feed, and a lot of Bolivian marching powder, and a lot of nasty sex.
Well, that's...
And you can read it in my new book, Jimmy Shubert, I Finally Overcome My Crippling Shyness, Chapter 12. It was great, man. I mean, Sam Kinison was like such an influential comedian on this generation of comedians. He certainly influenced me, and it's that kind of comedy. It's weird. I can't tell you how many times I'm watching Comedy Central. Maybe you've had this experience. And you're going, in what alternate universe is this shit funny?
Right.
I mean, if I'm not laughing at home, I mean, but it's just that brand of comedy, that hardcore brand of comedy. And I mean subject matter. I'm not talking about language. I'm talking about subject matter. You just don't find it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting on a wicker chair and I got my ball hair caught in the wicker. How many people does that happen to? That's crazy. I mean, who does that?
And you got a point, because a lot of these guys, I think what happens is they call themselves alternative comics, which is Spanish for not funny. And what happens is they try to outsmart the audience, and then
there's a few guys who do their alternative comedy very well. There's a few guys, Andy Kindler, Mark Maron, they're alternative.
But I just call them funny. I just call them funny.
Yeah, no, but they're funny guys. But what happens is a lot of people attach themselves to this alternative scene, and because they aren't funny. So a lot of guys say, well, I'm alternative, and I go, well, if comedy's funny, then alternative to comedy is, not funny, but you know, what do I know? I'm just a working pro.
Now, one thing I like about Jimmy Shubert is in your comedy, it's very male-driven. And you actually talk about things that were going on, like with yesteryear, like with guys, how they used to act. You know, what happened to the Clint Eastwoods is basically what I'm saying.
Well, what happened to, there seems to be a man vacuum. You know what I mean? I mean, looking like that caliber of that Steve McQueen, Clint Eastwood, Charlie Bronson. I mean, guys like that, where you go, yeah, that's a real man. I mean, a type of guy go to work and drive a railroad spike all day, come home and drive his wife all night. And who cares, who cares? You need anything else, you call your girlfriend. You want conversation as long as you're both laying there smoking a cigarette at the same time of the day. I mean, the guy may be an idiot, but he's your idiot. He knows his job and he does it. But I was flying in, I'm reading this whole men's magazine. There's a big advertisement for a new male grooming product. It's deodorant for your undercarriage. It's ball deodorant. And quite frankly, I got upset. I'm not putting on ball deodorant and then Twittering about it, all right? I'm a man, all right? My balls hang next to my ass. There's going to be a little residual gaminess, all right? Especially if I work out or play a little basketball, or I eat a bowl of truck stop chili and I chase it with a cup of coffee and I'm farting like a circus elf. And Gooch, there's no amount of lilac ball deodorant that's going to cover that smell. You know what it's going to smell like? Lilacs and ass. Is that what you're going for?
One cancels out the other, definitely.
Exactly, but I'm saying is, why would you even come up with it?
Right.
You know what I mean? I like being a man, Gooch. You know why I like being a man? Underwear, $8.95 for a 3-pack. I can open all my own jars, and no one stares at my chest when they're talking to me.
And that's the thing.
But let's be honest, if my pecker was hanging out over the top of my sweater, girls, you'd be looking too, all right?
And Jimmy Shubert would be proud to show it. Wink.
That's true. A lot of people think it's a leg. It's actually a penis with a shoe on the end of it. Anyway.
He lost it when he was entertaining the troops, and now it's just
reattached.
But that's the thing. Like now, for some reason, like men are just perfectly happy being feminine. And if you are one of these guys, and if you're one of these guys that's not afraid to show your feminine side, that's fine. But the thing is what they do is they try and make guys like men like yourself, and ashamed to be like that. Oh, you're just a big brute. You're just a big gorilla. I don't understand it.
I got 2 words for you. Skinny jeans, okay? So if you're wearing them, you're a homo, all right? I don't care. I know that's not as progressive as I'd like it to sound, but who gives a shit? I'm tired of kowtowing and catering to these douchebags. In their world, I'd be putting on ball deodorant and listen, I am a man, okay? I'm wrestling with thousands of years of DNA in a postmodern world. Sure, I don't have to kill my meat and gut it and clean it anymore, but sometimes I'd like to. That's why I go deer hunting. Every once in a while I need to kill something.
Right.
All right? I am a troglodyte. I'd be eating a banana with my foot right now if I could. I'm a man. I'm supposed to be a man. And women complain. That's what I love. Women complain all the time. I can't seem to find a real man. Well, you know who you get mad at? Get mad at his mom. Because his mom raised him and turned him into a little homo who wears skinny jeans and spends more time in front of the mirror than you do. That's why you can't find a man, because his mommy spoiled him and ruined him. That's why. Get mad at his mother. And then women get upset. Look, the strip clubs, they take advantage of it. No, they don't. You don't get taken advantage of a strip club, a man and his money. That's who. You idiots. Look, if you no naked girls show up, you know what? You get You got a room full of guys standing around. It's like a sausage party. You know? And then porno degrades women. Yeah, well, if women stopped up and stopped doing porno, you know what you have? 8 naked guys. Who's going to watch that? Nobody. It's your fault, you nutbags. We'll be right back, Anthony.
Wow, I really think you just pitched yourself for mayor of Las Vegas. 2016, vote for Shubert.
Well,
don't be a homo.
Well, I just that's the ticket I'm on. Don't be a homo. Vote for Shubert. Okay? Take the cock out of your ass and pull the lever. You. And don't eat a banana like this. No, but I just like, it's like I'm flying in. I had a gay plane steward. Hi, welcome to first class. My name's Steven. I'm from Cincinnati. I'll be your steward. I'm going, do you have a leak in your head? Are you got a leak? I don't, you know, well, you got to talk like a can of hairspray? Listen, I love pussy. I'm not announcing it to everybody. Okay? And you can't even call a guy a fag because I'm an asshole if I say fag. You know, he's overtly gay. I don't need to. Gooch, you know how I get. Don't get me started.
Oh, I love it. That's why I was like, Jimmy's coming in. Yay!
Well, you know, you can't.
It's gonna be some controversy.
Well, you can't even say like you know, you have to say, you know, he likes to wear his loafers without socks. Mm-hmm. I don't. What do you mean? Well, yeah. You know, he likes to catch the ball without a glove. No, I don't. Yeah. He likes to cash his nickels in for dimes. You have to go around. You can't just come out and say the guy's a fruitcake. You know, people are gonna say.
We got it.
I'm a direct person.
Scott, we got a question on the live chat. What's going on?
Yeah. First of all, my mom sent back all my skinny jeans. Bill G wants to know, hey, this guy's great. Does Jimmy have any TV appearances coming up?
No, but I just did a WTF podcast with Mark Maron. You can go to my website, jimmyshubert.com, and you can download it all iTunes right there. No, nothing in the works right now. It's the summertime. Everything's slow. The pilot season starts in September, so look out for that.
Are you doing pilots?
Yeah, they are doing pilots, but they start. I mean, they've been all the shows that have been picked up. They'll start auditioning.
But are you involved in any of them right now?
No, but I will be auditioning for, you know, once the season starts.
Now, have you been on TV? Ever done like sitcoms or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been in 5 years in the King of Queens. I had a recurring role called Jimmy. I did a guest on Entourage. I did about like 3 or 4 Entourages. I did, you know, Reno 911, ER. Did a couple ERs. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. I mean, if people go to my IMDb page, where you can get to right off of jimmyshubert.com, there's a whole list of stuff up there. There's videos on my website as well. I can see what I've done.
Now, as a straight-up comic, now obviously. We know exactly what you grab a mic, you tell jokes, people laugh. What do you think of like some improv comics? I mean, because I always notice there's like a rift between guys like yourself, grab a mic, get in front of a crowd, hey, you know, and then you have the guys that do improv where it's like, hey, give us a place, all right, give us a verb and a noun. I mean,
well, you know, the thing is, there's it's like, whose line is it anyway? Mm-hmm. There is an audience for that, and some people like it because they think they're making up on the spot. Now, I don't. I know the people who do improv meet 3 times a week to rehearse their improv. Let's rehearse our improv. So it's not really off the cuff.
Right.
They're rehearsing and working on the show, but they do it enough where it makes it seem like they're coming up with it on the spot. So, but some people really like that. Some people like to think that, oh, they're so funny, they're making it up on the spot, and really they're not. But there is an audience for that, and you know, hi, we're the Frayed Nuts. We're the Chopped Apple. Give us a position and a place. We're going to make stuff up. Not my cup of tea, but some people like it.
Well, that's the thing. And to be honest with you, I think stand-up comedy, there's so many more times where you have to be off the cuff because if somebody throws something at you, especially if you have a heckler in the audience and you don't know what kind of heckler they may be. They may be the angry heckler. They may be the one that wants to be a part of the show so bad, but they don't realize that they're ruining it.
Well, you know what I love about
you have to have those.
Hecklers actually think they're helping you out. I'm helping you out. I'm going, well, what do you think I do the other 364 days a year you're not here? I go, I really wish I had a drunk guy in the audience to help me. But, you know, here's the thing. Hecklers, to me, at the end of the day, want to be funny. Mm-hmm. They can't. It's easier for them to sit in the dark and try to get funny on your funny. Mm-hmm. In other words, if they really had any cojones at all, they would actually go on stage on an open mic night, write some material, and try it and get that Jones out. You know, but it's interesting. You deal with all kinds of, you know, there was a guy in the audience last night. His girlfriend was laughing a lot at my show. So he got insecure, and he goes, "What, do you think this guy's funny?" And he started heckling me, and I had to put him in his place. I had to embarrass him into behaving.
What did he say? What did he say?
Well, no, he was just heckling. He wasn't a good heckler, but he was heckling because his girlfriend was laughing at my show really hard.
Right.
So he got insecure. "Oh, you think this guy's funny? Let me ruin his show." And he tried to ruin my show, and of course I embarrassed him, and I told him there was no oversight, there was no microphone on this table, and if he could just try to act like they weren't cleaning out the trailer park and try to fit in with the group of everybody else who wasn't heckling, that would be fantastic.
Enjoy your meth lab, sir.
Sure. Enjoy your meth.
We got another question. Scott, what's up?
Yeah, Nate wants to know, how often does Jimmy write new material, and where do you get your ideas from?
I get my ideas from like just everyday life. I'm a great observer of the human condition, but also it's just anything. I watch the news and I constantly scream at my television set. And if something strikes me and gets me particularly angry, I vent. I then take that on stage and I kind of vent it and try to make it really funny. I try to take something that upsets me because of just the asinineness of it. It's just like even the TSA. The TSA. It's like a cosmetic security. It's there to make people feel better about flying, but I don't think it does any good. I don't even know what it stands for. Take shampoo away. You know, I know they're all federal government employees. Right there, that alone should make you feel about as safe as a gerbil in the front window of a San Francisco pet shop. All right, anything the government's involved in, I would get. You know, but yeah, it's asinine. I mean, some Nigerian kid flew from New York LaGuardia to Los Angeles and back to Atlanta, and he had a boarding pass from 1975 with somebody else's name on it. He was able to get on like 3 flights. Meanwhile, they're shaking down some 95-year-old lady who's got a dookie in her diaper because she has leukemia, and she's going back to Michigan to die. And he goes, "There's something suspicious in her diaper." I'm going, "Yeah, she crapped herself, man. She's got leukemia. She's going home to die, but you got to shake her down and pat her down." Meanwhile, this Nigerian kid is trying to go around the world in 80 days on a boarding pass from 1975 from some Irish kid. You know, he's got no identification. It's like
Anything in the news that's been pissing you off recently?
Well, there was the earthquake, and then later on they decided that it wasn't the earthquake. It was the founding fathers of our country all rolling over in their graves simultaneously. You know, because the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's Obama, you know, he doesn't want to take credit for any of his fiscal policy. Getting lectured on fiscal responsibility by Ben Bernanke is like getting a safe sex lecture from Freddie Mercury. You know, it's like, really? Why don't you watch your own, you know, sorry. I mean, I'm trying to be better, Gooch. You know, I'm just an angry guy. I'm dealing with all this Irish anger. I'm trying to be a nicer human being. I quit smoking. I've been on a juice cleanse.
Right.
I've been juicing my vegetables. I lost about 25 pounds, and then I quit smoking. I'm trying to get centered. You know, I'm trying to get zen. You know, I don't want to be this angry guy anymore. I really am working on getting more centered.
Right.
Trying to be a nicer person. I was doing a juice cleanse. I was flipping around TV. I came across that show, Bizarre Foods, with that Andrew Zimmern in. Mm-hmm. You seen that show?
No.
Apparently, the only thing that guy won't eat is pussy.
Wham!
Unless it's on a stick, of course. But, yeah, he's a little light in the loafers, that fruitcake. But anyway. Yeah.
We got another question, Scott.
Another question?
First, Jimmy, can I get you a cigarette?
No, thank you, but no, I'm good.
A clown boy says here that he thinks that you're very pro-Obama, and that I should ask you about that.
Well, he just heard me. He just heard me not be pro-Obama, so I don't know what he is. I mean, you know, it's.
What was it like working with Kiss?
It was crazy, man. It was like it was just a party 24/7. And some of the best shows and some of the funniest shit was off stage. I mean, on Elvis's birthday, Sam took a gun and blew out the television set behind the dunes. I mean, you know, as a tribute to Elvis, right? Rock and roll music. But I mean, you know, Sam was like you know, one of a kind, a true American original. You know, I mean, you felt like you were with when you were touring with him, and if you were cognizant, you realized that Sam was you know, a comedic force of nature, and that you know, you were part of something really special. And all the guys, I mean, Carl LeBeau and Mitch Walters, Alan Stevens, I mean, those guys kind of, and I was a really young kid at the time, those guys all kind of took me under the wing. and really taught me how to do stand-up. I mean, they would give you some notes and stuff, and you get to work on your act. I mean, but it was a giant party.
There was such a confidence there.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
and an aura.
Yeah, but you had all the rock stars were backstage hanging out, and I'd be hanging out with Sam, and we'd go get dinner with Stallone and Malibu with this. I mean, it was just these moments, and I played my hometown, Philadelphia, Spectrum. 6,500 people. My grandmother was in the audience to see a Sam Kinison show. I thought it was great. Everybody was worried about my grandma. She goes, "You kids, I'm 85. I've seen all this shit before. Don't worry about it." So she got to see Sam's show, and everybody came backstage. I mean, we toured on a giant tour bus across the country. You got to see. I mean, it was magical, man. It was great. I mean, at one point the drugs got to be too much. Mm-hmm. I mean, not that you condone that, but you're going to hit a wall. You're going to hit a wall of partying. You're going to wind up dead or in jail or in a coma because you OD'd. I mean, I'm lucky, knock wood, but it was a great time. I mean, we had I remember that there was at the Dunes, and I don't even know if I'm going to tell you, but the Dunes one night we had a 7 o'clock show, a 9 o'clock show, an 11 o'clock show, and I think literally it was like from 7 p.m. to like 7 a.m. the next day. I wound up stooping 4 different women, which is a personal best. Thank you.
Right there.
It's a personal best.
So where do you go from there?
You just retire.
Exactly.
You come in, but you just retire.
Yeah. You give your dick a watch and say, "Well done. All right, we'll see you later." Yeah.
You put a watch on them. Well done. It's uncomfortable. Hunk of metal. No, but it was just. But that's the kind of stuff it was. It was an extreme lifestyle. I'm glad it only lasted 5 years. I'm glad I made it through when I survived it. But and I'm glad I took all the lessons I've learned and applied them to my life and my comedy now to make it so that you don't wind up in you're not still living your life like that.
Well, Jimmy, it was great having you on. But before we leave, we like to play a little game with each guest called 3 Under 30. This is basically where I just ask you 3 questions in under 30 seconds, and you just got to answer.
Go ahead.
All right.
Sure.
We got the clock there, Scott?
Yes, sir.
All right, and go. What is the capital of Michigan?
Kalamazoo.
No, it's Lansing. Oh, well, whatever.
Okay. That was... So what? Once I get one wrong, I don't get...
All right, we'll do the other 2 then. All right.
Yeah, let's do the other 2.
All right, number 2. Who was Sylvester Stallone's co-star in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
Wow. Kalamazoo.
I'm sorry.
What was the last question?
The last question was, can you name the periodic table of elements?
Jesus.
See, that's what I'm saying. You see the game there?
No, man. I'm telling you, man. Breaking Bad is one of my favorite shows.
Oh, that is the best show. And actually, that's where I got the inspiration to ask that question.
Periodic table of elements.
Periodic table of elements. Well, Jimmy, it was great having you on. Thank you so much, brother. Jimmy Shubert, everyone. Hey, don't forget to check him out at jimmyshubert.com. And he's also going to be at the Las Vegas Hilton for the Icons of Comedy all week long. And please, if you haven't seen him, you got to check out Jimmy live. He is crazy. And once again, let's just say you turned into the show 5 seconds ago. Don't worry, we already got you covered. VegasVideoNetwork.com. We're also on YouTube, and we got replays on Roku as well. Thank you guys for stopping by Awkward Silence 2.1. We'll see you guys next Friday at 12:30. Be safe.
Peace.